Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the February 26, 2025 Planning Board meeting of the Township of Lopatcong. Would everybody please join me in a moment of silence, followed by the oath of allegiance? Flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. All right, first order of business, we have a new member today, Terry Lawler. We need to swear him in.
Mr. Lawler, if you'd raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that you will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of a Class 2 member of the Planning Board of the Township of Lopatcong, according to the best of your ability? Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Class 2 member of the board.
For the roll. Members Coyle, Coy, George,
Here.
Lawler,
Here.
Lito,
Here.
Weeks,
Here.
Vice Chairwoman DeLeo,
Here.
Chairman Sampson.
Here. So we got some sad news today. George Ritter passed away. February 7th, is that
February 5th.
So I feel like a few meetings ago, we all agreed that it'd be nice if we did some kind of resolution for him. George started here, I learned today, 2004, so he spent 20 years here with Lopat, knew everything about the township, and it was really a pleasure to work with George, I can say, learned a lot from him, just a great guy. You can't say enough good things about him. Do you want to read this so it's on the record?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution of the Planning Board of the Township of Lopatcong, County of Warren, and State of New Jersey, recognizing and honoring George A. Ritter. Whereas George A. Ritter obtained his license in professional planning in 1979, and whereas Mr. Ritter was appointed as the professional planner to both the Lopatcong Township Zoning Board of Adjustment and the Planning Board, and served the Township of Lopatcong in such capacities for over 20 years. And whereas during Mr. Ritter's tenure, he provided professional guidance on many individual applications before the respective boards and significant developments within the Township of Lopatcong. And whereas, more importantly, during his tenure, Mr. Ritter provided the township guidance and leadership in developing important land use policy, including master planning, Highlands conformance, affordable housing conformance, and redevelopment planning. And whereas Mr. Ritter's service contributed greatly to both the welfare and the betterment of the residents of Lopatcong Township and the Township of Lopatcong itself. Now therefore be it resolved by the Planning Board of the Township of Lopatcong, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, that it hereby recognizes and honors George A. Ritter, PP, AICP, for his distinguished service to the Township of Lopatcong and expresses its gratitude to him for his valued contributions to the Planning Board and to the welfare of the Lopatcong Township community. Be it finally resolved that this resolution shall be recorded and spread upon the official minutes of the Planning Board of the Township of Lopatcong for posterity, and that a copy of same shall be provided to Mr. Ritter with the thanks and well wishes of the board.
Very nice. All right, does somebody want to make a motion to vote this in?
I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. All right. Everybody get the minutes in the email from the last meeting? Anybody have any questions about the minutes, concerns? No? Somebody like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. New business, ordinance number 2025-03, an ordinance to amend the code of the Lopatcong, Chapter 243, zoning and land use, Article 13, general regulations to permit as a principal permitted use certain cannabis establishments in designated zone districts, and create Chapter 88, cannabis regulation, review and comment. So did everybody get that resolution in the email? Does anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, so Chairman, what the board is looking at tonight is looking at this specific ordinance, not from a totality as the licensing and the taxation, but to its effect on the zoning ordinance, because it does actually have an amendment, a clause that amends the zoning ordinance that allows this particular use to become a permitted use within a zone district. The board's job here is to make sure that it's consistent with the master plan and not inconsistent with the master plan. I can tell you that the master plan doesn't speak anything specifically to cannabis uses. That's not part of the master plan. This would be a retail use. It's for the board to determine whether or not it's inconsistent with the master plan, but I think that our current master plan does provide for retail uses and doesn't distinguish necessarily between the types.
Okay, so then really,
Ma'am,
go ahead.
this is not just for retail. If you read this, this is for growth.
Growing in
This
retail,
is
right?
growing in retail.
Yeah.
That means that they can put pieces, all right, I come from a florist.
It's one and
All right.
one we have.
Well, today you have, tomorrow you don't know. Okay? Really think about what you're doing here before you make that decision. That's what I have to say to you, okay? I know a place, I did a lot of research, I know a place that they got kicked out of because the growing smelled so bad. Because, and I agree with that, because I grew up in a florist, all right, a big major florist, that's what my dad still owns, okay? It gets vented, you're putting this next, this one isn't, but the growth one will be, because we don't have that many fields here, okay? Next to homes. So
If they make it correctly, you won't smell anything.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
My son works in one,
Yeah, I'm
and
just not-
you don't smell a thing inside or outside of it.
Okay.
So it has to be
Maybe I'm
ventilated
missing
right, it has to
something.
be done correctly.
I think the only thing that I see on here is retailer.
That's
Like, when I read the one
Well,
that
that's
came
my question
through-
too. Is this specific to this potential tenant or?
No, this ordinance.
It's across the board.
Is allowing for 2 licenses, one for a retail, I think,
And one for
Or is-
manufacturing?
or is it just a retail in here?
That was my,
One retail license in the HB zone.
That's it.
Yeah, class 4, this is under this ordinance, class 4, it says cannabis distributor license for businesses involving
that's just,
transporting cannabis.
Let's say the state
transporting-
act, right?
that's the state act.
Right, but that's when I read what we had, it's opening a door for all that to happen. All right, because once you say it's good, it's good. You can't
You're
shut
not here
down.
to make a determination.
Well, I know
other
that,
than it's
but I have-
consistent with the master plan.
Yes, I agree, then I'll shut up.
Thank you.
No, and I just want, the board should be clear, there's multiple types of licenses that can be granted. They're identified on the first page, you're gonna see that there's 6 types of licenses that can be granted. This is only concerning to my understanding, retailing license.
Yeah, that's here actually, to speak to that, Jim. It says, Section 2, the Code of the Township of Lopatcong Zoning and Land Use Article General Regulations is amended as follows. Cannabis retailers, subject to compliance with the chapter regulations set forth in Chapter 88 and the following requirements. So it's not, it does define all of these, cultivator, manufacturer, wholesale, distributor, retailer, but it does specifically say the ordinance is amended to permit cannabis retailers on minimum lots of 1 acre, and in the HB zone. So you're right, it does list all the uses.
Yeah, so it's really a question at this point whether or not it's consistent with the master plan.
All right, so the vote's gonna be, the vote is gonna be whether or not, a yes vote is gonna be that it's consistent, with our master plan, right? So that's basically what we need, consistency, determination. They've already changed, the town council has already changed the zoning for that, I believe, so.
No.
No, this is the
That's
introduction.
what this is gonna do.
This is a necessary step before they do the final reading and passage.
Okay.
So being that this is proposed in the HB zone, it's a retail use. It's really another type of retail retail is already permitted in the HB zone. So I'd say it is consistent. It's just another type of retail where retail is already permitted. So it's not a change in the classification of the zone. It's not like you're adding an additional industrial use to a retail zone or anything like that. So it's, in my opinion, I think it's consistent or not inconsistent with the master plan and the zoning.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion that this is consistent with the master plan?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Roll call then. Members Floyd,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Mueller, Leo,
Yes.
Steve,
Abstain.
Vice Chairwoman DeLeo,
Yes.
and Chairman Sampson.
Yes. Okay, next order of business. Affordable housing. We'll talk about that. Dan?
Yep, so the next thing we have to do is prepare a housing element and fair share plan. We're submitted our challenge to the state. They have until March 31st to get back to us with whether they agree with our number or not. They have to resolve the challenge by March 31st. In the meantime, we need to go ahead and start working on the housing plan, so we don't get caught behind the 8 ball. So we're gonna start doing that work. We're gonna submit a grant request to the Highlands Council. They will provide funding for the town to do this work, up to $30,000 to fund this, the housing plan. So we're gonna submit that grant to the Highlands Council, and then we'll get started on working on the plan, figuring out, can we do a vacant land adjustment, and where we can find credits from.
Did I give you all a copy of this?
You did.
You did. Okay. I should probably give them the fair share too, I guess, huh? I gave them the housing element, so
Oh,
the
yeah.
last one we did, so they could just read it and see what it all entails.
This does list a fair share obligation. I don't know if that's part of it, or,
Oh, it's from 2018 though.
Yeah, that's the last time we did it.
this is the last plan, right?
Right.
I don't know if there's another element. Is there another report?
Well, I think there's the fair share plan that goes along with it. There's a separate fair share element in there. I believe.
Numbers in there.
I think this is the full report.
Is it?
I
Okay.
think so.
It has some fair share like calculations in it,
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
okay.
this is everything.
Okay.
tables.
All right. I just thought it would give everybody an idea what it all means.
Right. So this report that you have is for the third round. We have a new obligation for the fourth round, which we will do a similar report for.
So do we need to,
How do you want this to work?
There's nothing to really work, just so you know. Right now, we're, from a procedural standpoint, I think they have until tomorrow to challenge our numbers. Any interested party, right?
Friday.
Friday, I'm sorry, Friday, the 28th. I misspoke. And thereafter, there's going to be a period of time in which those, if there is a challenge, the court will have a set piece of time. I think it's, actually, I have my cheat sheet here. March 31st, we'll get a ruling as to that, and then it's June 30th. It's between March 31st and June 30th. You have until to adopt the housing element and fair share plan. So during that time, the analysis has to be done, and I think the planner is going to be working with other municipal officials. You may want to put together a subcommittee to actually assist the planner, maybe somebody from the governing body as well, to identify sites that should be included within the fair share plan and housing element. Whether you think that you can get credits, I leave that to the planner certainly, to come up with the most effective plan that you can then be adopted on the March 31st date, or the June 31st date. 30th date. I can't even speak. Can't even read.
Easy for you to
I
say.
know. But, so you may, at this point in time, it may be a little bit premature, but you know what, you can't really, I think, as was indicated, try to get ahead of it, get the master plan subcommittee together, appointed. And you just don't want to have a quorum. So just whoever would be interested in assisting with that, because it would be the subcommittee with the planner making a recommendation to the board at a hearing to adopt the plan, which would require notice and everything else.
okay, so do we have anybody that wants to volunteer for,
Volunteer.
Do people want to
got
know?
room for one more?
I don't know anything to volunteer. How would that help?
Well, you learn.
What?
You learn as they go along.
3 is actually probably,
3 is
3 or
good.
4 is good.
It's perfect.
3 is good.
You want to or no?
I just don't feel like I have
Okay.
enough knowledge about it all to
Okay.
do it.
So, Mrs. DeLeo, if you would be interested in governing body member would be Mr. Polito. Who else?
I said yes.
Yeah, so we don't, there's really no action until,
Right, there's
when they
nothing,
come back
no
and
action.
counter. I believe they said it was 80, right? And we came back with 70,
Yeah, 71.
71. So then they'll come back and we'll start working on it, I guess.
Yep,
Yeah, but that way at least the subcommittee can communicate.
right. Between meetings, we can coordinate and make sure we're moving in the right direction.
And when will they get together, like, at the council meetings?
With a subcommittee?
Yeah.
That's up to the subcommittee when they want to get together.
We can probably just coordinate by email, and if we need to meet, we can just set up a meeting at, ad hoc.
No, sir,
And Jim has a key to the building, so you can meet at any time.
no. If, with the council meeting, if they're looking for somebody, I'll represent council as well.
Smart.
Perfect. Anybody else have any questions about that? No?
I'll make sure you get the email sent in.
Great.
All right, somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Oh, public comment.
Is that a motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I just-
You don't need.
No, I didn't stop.